What up, yo? Hope you're well. So, I want to do a video about the price and the cost of success, I guess, when you are leveling up in business here in Africa. What I'm about to tell you is applicable in most markets in the world. This could happen to you in the UK. This could happen to you in America, Brazil, you know, Germany, Australia. Once you start leveling up in business and you're getting some level of success and notoriety in whatever it is that you're doing, you're gonna get a hate. You're gonna get a lot of hate. You're gonna get a lot of hate, envy, and jealousy. And I hope some of you guys that are looking to or considering doing business here understand what you're about to face. Even if you were African and let's say you used to live in Europe or UK for a long time, Australia there, and you decide to come back to Africa and do business, you're still going to be looked at as a foreigner, even by your own people in your own country. It's inevitable because you probably haven't lived there for a long time. And things change. Over time, things change. So let's say you've been living in the UK for 10 years, and you finally decide, I'm going to go back to Kenya. I'm tired of working for the NHS. By the way, the NHS sucks. If you work for the NHS, just retire already. Come to Africa and start your business. Set up your operations over there. Pick your country and set up your operations right here in Africa and live good. What you will discover is that once you start to make some money, you start to level up, jealousy, envy, and hate is inevitable. It's inevitable. Oh, it's coming. I don't know what it is. It's like people can just sniff it on you that maybe things are working in your favor. I don't know what it is. Maybe I think I shouldn't say I don't know what it is. I know what it is. You move different when you've, lived abroad. You move so different that people notice that. It's too noticeable how you move. Even if you've lived in the UK for like only 5 years, the way you do things, the way you think, it's so different that people can pick up on it. And there's some people that don't like the fact that you're different. Because a lot of the African countries that you'll be doing business in are very monoculture or what is it called? Homogenous. Homogenous, that's the word I'm looking for. Meaning most of the people, 99.9% of people, are pretty much the same. They behave the same, they think the same, they act the same. Their beliefs are very similar. Maybe religious-wise, they're different. They're Muslims, Christians, some Hindus there. But for the most part, if you come into Africa, what I recommend you should do not try and attempt to shrink yourself when you're here. Don't do that. You're actually doing yourself a disservice if you're shrinking yourself. When you choose to retire from Europe, US, Australia, to come to Africa and do business full time, you need to come here with the mindset that you are ready to completely crush it. You're ready to go all the way in. You're ready to go all in that they can't take it. Listen, you need to be able to say, I'm here to apply maximum pressure until they cannot take it. That should be your goal. Most people here, I'm talking about the 99.9% of people, are very relaxed about everything. Because life, especially if you figured things out, you got a little bit of cash, it's not too difficult here. It's not too difficult. Cost of living is good. If you make $3,000 a month here in Africa, you're living good. You're living good. Oh, man. You're living so good, it's not even fair. So just imagine if you're making like 30 grand a month. Just imagine the amount of hate, envy, and jealousy that will come your way. It will shock you. But it doesn't mean that you need to come here and be afraid of what's coming. Don't be afraid of what's coming. Just know how to move differently. Let me tell you how you move differently. When you start making this money here in Africa, do not adjust your lifestyle too much. Don't be going out here buying all kinds of cars, flashy toys too fast. Because these things are going to attract too much attention to you. Because remember something, we are focusing on building generational wealth. You hear me? We're not here to focus on flexing on people. That's not the goal of this channel. Once you make your money, once you make your first 100 grand, or once you make your first lick, because catching a lick means you made your first major financial breakthrough. You've made the most amount of money in your life you've ever seen. That's what we call catching a lick. If you do that, and then you start buying fancy cars, you're going to attract even more haters and more fake people into your life. And that's not good for your peace. That's not good for your quiet. It's going to do the complete opposite. When I'm in Africa over here, nobody knows what kind of car I drive. Nobody. They might know where I live, but they don't know what kind of car I drive. There's some tactics that I learned from, and I just heard about this, by the way. I've never met this guy. Apparently, he's a billionaire in USD. Maybe a billionaire, or maybe at least $500 million. Like, I'm talking about 500 million USD type of wealth. And this guy lives in the richest neighborhood here in Dar es Salaam called Masaki. I don't know his name, but I heard he's a living legend. Here's what he does. Nobody knows how rich he is except for a few people. So what he does is he dresses regular, because he's a Muslim, so he dresses in his, those robes, kanzus, right? Kanzus. I think that's what it's called. And his, hat for religious purposes, obviously. And he walks to the mosque every day. And then sometimes he just walks out of his mansion, and nobody knows what his mansion looks like on the inside. He just walks out with no car, no driver, no security. He just walks out of his mansion and randomly walks all the way into the city. And he just starts playing chess or checkers with guys in the city. And guys in the city just thinks he's just a regular trader in one of the big markets over here in Dar es Salaam. They don't know he's one of the richest men in Africa. They don't know that. This is the man that has seen the dark side of human beings. When you start leveling up in life, you're going to start to see some dark shit about human beings that is very unpleasant. Human beings are not who you think they are. People want to see you doing good, but nobody, maybe very few, one or two, maybe three people want to see you doing better than them. For the most part, your old friends that you used to hang out with in high school, your old relatives that used to, that you grew up with, they don't like it that you're doing better than them. They don't like that. Oh, they don't like that. If you don't know these things, you're going to get derailed on your way, on your path to building generational wealth. These are some of the things that even rich guys here, they don't know these things. They're guys that just got their first lick 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. They don't know any of these principles. It's only a matter of time until a lot of these things that I'm talking about, that I'm telling you, the hate, jealousy, and envy affects those guys. Then you get derailed. Then you lose everything. You lose focus. And once you lose focus on the mission, You know, the mission gets compromised. You can't compromise the mission. This is the long game, guys. Building generational wealth is a long, long game. You cannot afford to get distracted out here. Because once people discover that, hey, you caught your first lick, there's signs. There's signs. You're pulling up with like a brand new Land Cruiser, V8. Come on, man. Come on. They're going to know. They're going to know how much money you got. People in Africa like to talk too much. And they like to count your pockets. Oh, they love that. They'll count your pockets. There are times where I'm just walking in the neighborhood. Nobody knows. In fact, my game is, I like to roll in a Bajaji, tuk-tuk. That's how I like to roll. For practical purposes. Because I don't want people to know how much money I got. I want it to remain a mystery. You'll never know how much money I got. Because I'm rolling in a tuk-tuk, and my tuk-tuk driver is just weaving through traffic. And I do that on purpose, because there's so much traffic here in Dar es Salaam that if I buy a V8, I'm not saying I don't want to buy a V8. That's not what I'm saying at all. If I get a V8 engine, this is one of these big cars, the problem is there's so much traffic here that I'll be stuck in traffic if I want to go from one side of the city to the other. I'll be stuck in traffic for hours. But with my tuk-tuk, I can weave through traffic. I can be from here to the other side of town in half the time that V8 gets there. If I want to rush to the airport, I can take my tuk-tuk all the way to the airport. I can beat somebody in a V8 from where I live. I can get there in half the time. That means I'm twice as productive as that guy in a V8. running laps against this guy. Running laps around him, I'm sorry. Running laps around that guy with the V8. Because the guy in the V8, he's relaxed, right? He caught his first lick. Now he's chilling. Oh, and those seats, man. Those seats are nice in the V8. The leather seats, especially if you get one of those Land Cruisers and you do a custom leather seats that you can warm up. I'm sure a lot of these cars you can do that. You can warm up those seats. Ooh, it's cozy, especially during the wintertime. You're relaxed. You're too relaxed. It's when you start expanding, you start getting fatter. Then you slow down. Meanwhile, all these haters are coming to you, distracting you. Hey, this one needs money. Hey, this one needs money. This one needs this. Oh, this is needed. Oh, donate to this. Hey, loan me some money. Hey, before you know it, you're not focused on the mission, dog. You're not focused on the mission. The mission is to apply maximum pressure. So much pressure, they can't take it. That should be a goal when you're coming to build generational wealth here. You've got to come and bring that kind of energy. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people, as soon as they retire from the UK or the West, they come to Africa with that mindset that they had when they were younger. Because I left Africa when I was 19. So it was chill. You know what I'm saying? My life was super chill. I didn't have to pay rent. My parents took care of everything. But now I got to take care of everything. Listen, there's no sleeping. What? Even though like my cost of living is much lower now here in Africa than it was in Atlanta. Even though my quality of life is way better and much easier than it was when I was in Atlanta, I'm working 10 times harder when I'm here. 10 times harder. Because it's all about the long game. I didn't come to Africa to relax. For what? For what? To relax for what? There's no relaxing, dog. Listen. The game is cold out here. The game is cold. A lot of these people that are going to be hating on you, they don't want to see you win. That's why. But you cannot be affected by it. You have to use that as a motivation. If somebody pisses you off, says something slick, that's disrespectful, don't respond. You know how you respond? You apply pressure. Go put in the work. Go to the gym and take it up on the treadmill. Go lift some weights. Next time they see you. Next time they see you, they're like, oh my gosh, what's going on with this guy? What's going on with this guy? Huh? Pressure. That's what you got to do. I hope you got some value from this video. Just be on the lookout if you're coming to Africa and start a business. Don't slow down, because slowing down is going to jam you up. That's what they want you to do. Don't do what they want you to do. Apply maximum pressure. Go all in, full force. If you're ready to work with the best and you get the best coach on how to start your business over here in Africa, get you to the next level, schedule time. This is a paid consultation. This means that when you pay, you're going to get the best, or you're going to get the best. We're going to talk about what niche you want to get into. We're going to talk about some of the obstacles you need to look out for. If you're ready to build generational wealth, you need a coach, somebody that's been through the grind, somebody that's been through the trenches. So you can run laps around the competition, because that's the ultimate goal, running laps around the competition. Schedule time, link in description. All right, bless.